As we think through, like, the overlying theme of the report this year is all about integration and cohesion. And so I think they're taking the same approach as it comes to areas of the business, where as opposed to doing an ad hoc outsource model to a couple freelancers, they're doing this in a much more integrative, systematic way that's allowing them to actually, really leverage managed services in a way that's taking on much more scope and scale of the work, helping them take on the liability of the work, I think, is a big part of this as well, and really focusing the relationship much more on outcomes. And so as we think about like what managed services really allows Work Innovators to do, it allows them to go to experts, facilitate the work, and then it comes back with a finished product and actual outcome. At the end of the day, that's what our clients want. They're looking for outcomes and business problems to be solved. And managed services allows a really seamless, integrated way for our Work Innovators to get their problem solved. In order for living organisms to survive, they have to continue to evolve and adapt, and they do that by looking outside themselves. And I think it's what managed services really allows companies to do too, is look outside of their own system, look outside of their own ways of working, look outside of their own tech stack, and really begin to think through how are other companies, how are other organizations, how are other models doing this sort of work. And to me, I see managed services as being able to leverage the best of the best, whether that's in an operations space, an HR space, whatever that function is. Managed services is really, again, leveraging the best of the best in that space so that the client can then go focus on what they're the best at. We're at a time, too, where there's just a great talent shortage globally. We have less people participating in our workforce than we did 10, 15 years ago across the globe. And so we're also managed services, and not just managed services, but clients in general are going to be forced to work differently and find new technologies to help keep the work moving. And in times of growth, when the labor is just simply not there, there's almost like a leadership sense of being humbled by that you can't do everything yourself. You can't have utter control of everything that's happening. And so as a result of that, where can you lessen the burden? Where can you begin to leverage experts that are simply better at this than you are at these things? And I think that's going to be the key differentiator as we look over the next couple of years, is companies that are willing to admit that and go to managed service models as an example of being able to leverage talent across the globe. They're going to be stronger. That core is going to be so much stronger to weather the upcoming storms because they're not distracted. They're not trying to do too much. And most times it's a very cost-efficient play too. And so that's why you're going to see better operating expenses, better free cash flow within these organizations, because they're working differently and finding that scale.